Panelists check Nancy Mace for mispronouncing Kamala. Take a look at this video.
And Kamala's.
You had it right. You almost got it.
I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to.
No,
but
you mispronounce her and you also misjudge her.
I just did, and I'll do it again.
Mispronouncing her name.
That's a refusal to acknowledge her humanity.
If I purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are Joe Biden's policies. She owns it.
You're normalizing that kind of viciousness, man.
33 times.
You're disrespecting.
She was.
Yep. And then let's take a look at another video because it got worse.
Let's just say this, because this Congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said you weren't a racist.
That is complete.
No, you don't have to intend racism to accomplish it.
You are intending that
your disrespect of Kamala Harris is part and parcel of a tradition of disrespect.
Why can't you just, Congresswoman? Why can't you just?
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm saying what the practice is racist.
You absolutely are.
The practice
Let
me get in here.
No, what's disgusting is your disrespect of her.
Professor,
this gentleman said, I didn't know her name. He's trying to do it.
Is her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
white women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is to tell them they're not real women.
25 years ago.
They care for your babies.
25 years ago, I became the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina. I fought my way through it.
So pronounce her name right.
Let me actually
pronounce her name right.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala. You said this.
We don't call you Nancy Mace.
It's Kamala. You're doing this on purpose, Congresswoman.
That's disrespectful.
You can't expect people to respect your service if you don't respect her.
Walked that stage 25 years ago.
You're a white woman disrespecting a black woman. That is problematic.
Mr. Dyson, let me get in here because I want to play one.
Yep, that was Nanki McKay. I'm sorry, is it Nancy Mace? I think I might have said that wrong. Just not understanding the message, not called racist, but explained to her that she's not being sensitive. She's falling into perhaps unintentional or intentional traps, but just trying to be explained to her face that she needs to be a little bit sensitive when intentionally mispronouncing the Democratic nominee's name.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
She refuses, then attacks her womanhood, and then take a look at this video.
Trump injecting Vice President Harris's race and then suggesting that she's not actually black. Why is he doing that? Should he stop?
Well, I mean,
yes or no?
I didn't hear him say it. I didn't hear what he said about her race. I am not going to weigh in on her race. As a woman,
he did say it.
Okay, well, as a woman, I want to weigh in.
She turned black, he said. He said she was raised Indian. Now she was Indian, all he knew. Now she's turned black.
Well, she's a mixed race, She's a mixed race.
He said that to the National Association of Black Journalists.
Right.
He went to, and he said at the same event where he said he'd done more for black people than any president in history.
I guess here's the thing.
When he was president, wages for women were better than they've been in a long time. Wages for blacks were better than they've been in a long time.
The lowest black unemployment rate in history. It happened under Joe Biden.
He did a lot of good.
Let me just finish this to both of you.
From all walks of the country.
This doesn't take that much courage, honestly, to just say that was out of bounds.
I don't know what he said. I didn't see.
He said that she turned black. He questioned whether she was really black. I don't think that's that hard to say. That's out of bounds. Can you say that?
I mean, I didn't say it, and I would not say it.
Just say yes.
I just said
we are connected to your inability to pronounce her name.
We are out of time.
It's a very.
We are out of time.
It's a cult. They won't say anything that goes against the cult. Yes, you are. You are a cult member.
Are you kidding me?
It's a cult. If you won't speak out against the cult member, you're a cult. The cult leader is Donald Trump.
We are out of time at the table.
The fact that you talk to women this way is ridiculous.
You just talked about a black woman that way.
In what way?
Thank you for being here at the table. Thank you for watching at home. No time.
The incredible luck that whenever there's something damning that a Republican in Congress these days who supports Donald Trump needs to respond to, they don't know what happened or didn't see that particular clip. That's right, you just witnessed a CNN panel devolving into a shouting match on Thursday after Rep. Nansai Mace, is that what I'm being told? It's Nancy Mace, repeatedly mispronounced Vice President Kamala Harris's name. Mace is a Republican from South Carolina. As Mace repeatedly said Harris's name in an attempt to pronounce it right, Democratic strategist Keith Boykin responded, "You had it right. You almost got it." Mace then snaps back, "I will say Kamala's name any way that I want to." Bit entitled, if you ask me, which resulted in the panel becoming quite heated. Let's put Representative Mace's photo up full mast. There she is. And in case you're, again, confused, I believe it is pronounced either Mace or Mace or Mackay. Nobody really knows. There's no way to know, nor do I think she deserves the respect of knowing. If you can pronounce people's names however you'd like, then I guess that's fair play, goes both ways. Also on Thursday, during a press conference at his Bedminster, New Jersey property, Donald Trump dismissed calls from GOP allies for him to refocus on policy. Dismissed calls for him to focus on policy. Not gonna focus on policy, okay? Not gonna focus on the issues or the country, quote unquote. I'm gonna diss people whenever I want. Saying he was literally, quote, entitled to personal attacks against Vice President Harris. Another entitlement. He's entitled to attack her. That's his right as a old white/orange man. He only decided to become orange in recent years. He used to be white. As polls show her erasing his polling lead and taking the lead in many polls, per The Hill. He was asked by multiple journalists about criticism from some Republicans that he needs to be more disciplined and lay off the personal attacks on his opponent. And this is literally what the former president of the United States said in response. It's a good one.
Many of your allies who want you to win in November say your current strategy isn't working, that you need to stop with the personal attacks on Kamala Harris and deliver a more disciplined message. Do you agree?
Look, we've taken, with all of the abuse we've taken from the fake news media, all of this horrific abuse we take, and all I want to do is make the country great. All I want to do is have strong borders and good education. We want to have choice for education. So important, so many different things. You would think it would be the other way. We rebuilt the military. We did so many great things. But that's the way it's been for Republicans, and I guess more so for me than anybody in history, and that's okay. Because we're leading in the polls. For the most part, we're leading in the polls. But I think when she's exposed, I think we're going to beat her by a lot more than we would have beaten Biden by. People don't know who she is. As far as the personal attacks, because of what she's done to the country, I'm very angry at her that she'd weaponized the justice system against me and other people. Very angry at her. I think I'm entitled to personal attacks. I don't have a lot of respect for her. I don't have a lot of respect for her intelligence. And I think she'll be a terrible president. And I think it's very important that we win. And whether the personal attacks are good, bad, I mean, she certainly attacks me personally. She actually called me weird. He's weird.
Yep. And she got that one right. He's entitled to those personal attacks. And I mean, yeah, you can attack your opponent, I suppose. That is what you can do as a strategy. That's not what the question was. Should you keep doing it if you're trying to win? But in a rare moment of Trump running scared, he said in that clip that you just saw, I'm still leading in the polls for the most part. For Trump to acknowledge that in some polls he is not leading is monumental, because this is the guy that pretends to every degree that he's leading every poll. This is the guy that says, I'm beating Joe Biden by 30 points when he's up by 1 point or tied in most polls. So for him to acknowledge that, this guy is being beaten pretty badly. And that's just a fact. He's trying now to find something to pin against the Biden-Harris administration that will stick. And thus far, nothing is sticking, and he's struggling. He's trying to figure it out. Trump has struggled to deliver a consistent message targeting Harris, even as Republicans argue they have a strong case against her on the economy and immigration. While the former president has at times focused on the issues, he has also attacked the vice president's biracial heritage, her laugh, and her intelligence. Polling published Wednesday from the nonpartisan Cook Political Report showed Harris leading Trump in 5 out of 7 battleground states likely to decide November's election. Harris leading Trump in 5 out of 7: Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania. Trump led Harris only in Nevada, while the 2 candidates were tied in Georgia. What a swing just 3 or 4 weeks into the creation of the Harris campaign, bringing walls on just a couple of weeks ago and turning the political landscape on its head. And so Trump is running scared. You'd think he would be able to soundly defeat somebody who he doesn't have a lot of respect, quote, for her intelligence, as he says. But when one of the more stupid people in American history doesn't have respect for your intelligence, does that prove you're super intelligent? Because I think it does. When somebody who doesn't have intellectual capacity of his own or any depth of character or intellect thinks that you don't have intellect, it's really a high compliment. It shows that you're rattling this person. He doesn't know what to do, and he's scrambling. He's scrambling. He should take a break and do even less events because he's barely been doing public events or campaign events at all. And the man needs a break.